A wave of anti-French sentiment has swept across the former French colonies of West Africa, especially the Sahel. And it's been taken out on civilian governments which are backed by the French. So first of all, we saw 2 coups in Mali, then 1 in Burkina Faso, and now 1 here. And the people, certainly in the capital, Niamey, appear for the moment to be supporting that coup and to be supporting the ouster of the French. Now, why is that? It's because they're pouring all their frustration into anti-French feeling. And there's a lot of frustration. Frustration about corruption, frustration about insecurity, because as Islamic State and Al-Qaeda are both very active here, and frustration about poverty. But one of the things that's really important to note is that the Americans are not leaving this area, even though the Russians, the Wagner group, have come into Mali, and this new government here in Niger, they're flirting with the Russians too. So the Americans don't want to cede the territory, to cede that fight against jihadis. But here today, in the capital, Niamey, not a single person who I've met was sorry to see the back of the French ambassador, who's been holed up in his embassy since the coup, and the 1,500 French troops who were supposed to be fighting the jihadis. Every night since the coup 2 months ago, people have partied outside the French military base in Niamey. Some come for the patriotic fervour, some for the dance competitions, and all because they want an end to the French presence in Niger. They accuse the French of colonial arrogance, both in the conduct of the fight against jihadis across the region and in President Macron's reaction to the coup. Niger's soldiers are in charge now. Night after night, they've called for the French troops and the ambassador to go. Last night, they finally got their wish. Today, on the streets of Niamey, people I spoke to were unanimous.
With them, the big fish eat the little fish. We say we've had enough of their nonsense. They do nothing for us in Niger. We don't need them. We're fed up with them. We've had enough.
He'd better go. We don't want him.
This is what we wanted. All people from Niger wanted this, apart from those who were overthrown. They're the only ones who want France here in Niger.
Back in 2013, French troops were greeted with huge enthusiasm in Gao in neighbouring Mali. Alongside Malian forces, they drove out the jihadis who had seized the town. But 10 years and several coups later, excitement has been replaced by disillusion. And now Russian mercenaries from the Wagner group have replaced the French in Mali. This morning, Nigerian soldiers guarded the apparently deserted French embassy and residence. The ambassador is reported to have already gone, and with him, the end of an era of French influence across the Sahel.